Question number 31 onwards, we have approximation, so we'll continue. Under root of 1443, nearest number 38 into under root of 89. Let's write the number. 30%, 3 times of 10%, right? 3 times of, what is 10% of this number? 75 minus 12 into 11. Now let's start. 9 times, 10 times minus 1 time, 380 minus 38. Come on. 342 plus 3 times of 75. 225. From that we need to subtract 132. First subtract 132 from this number. Easy. Easy. 210. Sum of both the numbers. 435. Next. Under root of 728. 27 plus 350. 377 divided by 18 plus 17 into 16 percentage. 16 into 1% value, which is 7. Right hand side minus under root of 121 will come to left hand side, becomes plus 11. Yes, 18, 20 times is 360. Apart from 360, 17 we have. That means approximately 1 time. Yes, 21 plus 11, let me write 32 here. Now, 7 times of 16, how much is that? 112. 17 times of 112, 100 times 1700, 10 times 170, 2 times 34. 1700 plus 100, 1800, 700, 300, 1 more 100, 1900, 36. Which square is this? 44 square. If you don't know that, 40 square is 1600 and it is much more than that. Let's identify 45 square, which is 20, 25. And our number is very close to that number. Come on. Right, next 33. 24 into 56 divided by 14 minus, come on, 3060 by 180 minus right hand side number 47 comes to left hand side, becomes plus 47. 14 how many times? 4 times. 24 fours? 96. 0 gets cancelled first of all. 18 once. Wait a minute. 18 once. 126 is left. How many times? 17 plus 47. Minus 17 plus 47, 30. 96, 30, 126. 126 is equal to 2x. Then x is equal to 126 by 2. Answer. Next, 34. 46 percentage. 46 into 1% value, which is 25. Minus 2 by 11 into 495. 11, 45 times. 40 times of 25, 1000. 6 times of 25, 150. Total 1150 minus 90. Subtract 100. Add 10 later. Yes? 22 into 12 plus 9 into 7 plus 78 by x square is 5. X square is equal to divided by 5 only. Matladru. 20 to 10 times 220. 20 to 2 times 44. 220 44. 264. 7 9 times 63 plus 78. What is sum of all these numbers? Come on, 405. 100 places currently 200. Next, 60, 60, 120, 70, 190. So far 390. 438, 15, 490, 390 plus 15, 405. By 5, which is equal to 81. Which square is this? 36 onwards, we have number series. This is double number series only. First of all, wrong number series. And then again, you need to solve this question. Avuna? ఫస్ట్ రాంగ్ నెంబర్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి. అదే మనకి చాలా ఈజీ టాస్క్. దాని తర్వాత మళ్ళీ తీసుకొచ్చి దీనిలో పెట్టాలి. వరస్ట్ కేసులో ఏం చేయొచ్చు అని అంటే ప్రొడక్ట్ ఆఫ్ హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ రాంగ్ నంబర్ దట్ మే బి సంథింగ్ ఇంటూ 64. సో హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ రాంగ్ నంబర్ ఇంటూ 64 32. సో ఆన్సర్ మస్ట్ బి 8 మల్టిపుల్. మాట్లాడరు. ఫస్ట్ ఆప్షన్ ఈజ్ 8 మల్టిపుల్. Second option is also 8 multiple. If there is only one 8 multiple, you can do it, but multiple options are there. Right, like that, how many are there? 36 to 40. From 41 onwards, come on. Case late. కొంచెం ఎక్కువ డేటానే ఉంది కదా, let's hold it. From 46 onwards, what do you have? Pie chart and table. Just look at the data. We have total number of books sold by 6 different stores on Monday, and the table shows poetry and then fantasy. First of all, you should prepare total number of books sold in each store. This is total. Then again, out of total, we were given poetry and then fantasy books ratio. So this is what we need to finalize. Right. So 46 to 50. From 51 onwards, we have a table, but look at this table, which is a lengthy table. Matladru. Initial mixer in vessel, milk and water quantity. Resultant mixer ratio, milk and water. Quantity of mixture taken out. Quantity of milk added, quantity of water added. So that means you have some quantity, some mixture is taken out, and then after that you are adding milk and then water. Finally you are given ratio between milk and water. Yes or no? Like that, how many vessels are there? 5 vessels. Should be 5 questions, I hope. Right? So concept, ratio, proportion involved. Right, till 56. From 57 onwards we have quant questions. Right, from 62 we have Q1 and Q2. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం? Tell me question number. 46. Yes, good choice. Right. So we have U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Let's first calculate the total, then we will convert into poetry and then fantasy later. Is that okay? Right, when you look at the data, 18, 12, 21, 14, 16, 19, all are different numbers, not round figures like 10, 15, 20, they are not like that. So what I will do is, I'll start with 12%. I will calculate 2%. If you add, you get 14. Add 2 more, you get 16. Add 2 more, you get 18. Easily we can calculate 4 values. Got it? Leftover values, one is 21, the other is 19. And you know how to do it. 20%, 1%. Add and subtract. Yes? Let's do it. But be careful with the values. 12%. What is 10%? 4,500. 2%. 900. What is 12% then? 4,500 plus 900. 5,400. Which value is that? V. Be careful with numbers. Then 14%. Add 2% more. 900 more. 6,300. X is 6,300. Then Y is again 900 more. 7,200. U is again 900 more. 8,100. Next, 20%. What is 20% of this number? 9,000. What is 1%? 450. When you add, you get 21%, which is 9,450. If you subtract it, you get 8,550, which is Z. Correct? Next. I don't want to calculate all the ratio values right now. I'll do it whenever it is required. Okay? Let's see. What is the respective ratio between number of poetry books sold by U, X together and then U, Y together? So we need U, Y and then X. U, total how many parts are there? 9 parts is equal to 8100, 1 part 900. 9 into 4, 9 into 5, 45, 9 into 4, 36, all are hundreds. Then go to X. Again here also we have 9 parts. 9 how many times is 6300? 7 times. 7 into 2, 1400. 7 into 7, 49. Then Y value total 18 parts. 18 how many times? 4 times. 13 4 times. 50, 200. 5 into 4, 20. Okay, for this question these values are enough. Poetry books in U and then X. U and X poetry, how many are there? 5,000, 5,900. Fantasy in U and Y, 5,600. 2 zeros gets cancelled, 59, 56. What is the difference between average number of fantasy books sold by the stores WZ together, average number of poetry books sold by U and X? So we need W and Z also. W total how many parts are there? Matladandi. 7 how many times is 9450? 7 ones, 3, 5, 0, 1350, correct? 4 times of it, double. 4 times ante double kada. 1350 double, 2700 double, 5000. Now instead of calculating 3 times of that fellow, can we take difference of these two numbers? Difference is easy, right? 4050. And then Z. Total how many parts? 19 how many times is 8550? 7 times, 19 sevens. 19 4 times kada, sorry. 19 fours, 19, 38, 76. Again 95 is left. 5 and then a 0. 12 times of this number. 10 times is 4500. 2 times is 900. Total 5400. Instead of going for 7 times, we will go for here. Again difference. 3, 1, 5, 0. I put ready. Difference between average of fantasy books sold by W and then Z. Fantasy, W and then Z. What is sum? 7,200. Average 3,600. Poetry from U and X. U and X poetry 5,900. We'll do one thing. Original sum was 7,200 for fantasy. Now it is 5,900. We were asked to calculate average difference. First calculate the difference, which is 1300, then convert into average, which is 650. Got it? If the number of fantasy books sold by store T is 20% more than the poetry book sold by U, there is a new bookseller T, where fantasy books in T are 20% more than poetry books from U. U poetry books 4,500. What is 20%? 900. 900 more 5,400. Okay. Total number of books and pens were 8,600 respectively. Find the number of pens sold by T. Books and pens both together 8,600, where books are 5,400. Pens means difference. How much? 3,200. Number of fantasy books sold by V is approximately what percent of number of poetry books sold by store Y. So we need total how many parts? Matladali. So can we take it as 40%, 60%? 2:3 ratio kada? 40, 60 anukunnama. What is 10%? 540. Keep 40 aside. 500 plus 40. 4 times of it. 2000 plus 160. Which is 2160. 6 times. 500 6 times. 3000. 46 times. 240. Now the question is, fantasy books in V, which is 32540. 3240. What percent of poetry books from Y? Poetry from Y, 5200. 5200 percentage into 100, correct? Now when you look at options 40, 30, huge difference is there because 10% in the sense 520, right? Do we have huge difference or not? What is 50% of this number? 2600. Answer must be more than that. So answer is either 75 or 62. What is difference between these two numbers? 620. That would be approximately 10% only. So answer should be close to 60% only. 62 final. What is the difference between number of poetry books sold by stores X, Y, Z together? Difference between poetry books sold by X, Y, Z together. Poetry X, Y, Z. First add 10,000 places, 11,000. Then add hundreds places, we have 1,000 more. Total, matladandi, 12,000. Difference between this fellow and number of books sold by stores U, V together respectively. Number of books sold by U, V, W. That means sum of these three numbers only. Matladaru. ఇక్కడ టోటల్ అయితే కాదు. యాక్చువల్ మీనింగ్ అయితే యూవీడబ్ల్యూ ఇదే తీసుకోవాలి, బట్ దేర్ మీనింగ్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్. ప్రాబబ్లీ దట్ వుడ్ బి ఇది కూడా పోయిటరీనే. ఆన్సర్ ఏమి ఇచ్చారండి? ఫిఫ్త్ ఆప్షన్ ఇచ్చారా? ఫిఫ్త్ ఆప్షన్ ఇచ్చారా? రైట్. సో దెన్ ఇక్కడ ఇంకా కొంచెం మీనింగ్ ఉండాలి. టు ద టాప్ నంబర్ ఆఫ్ బుక్స్ సోల్డ్ బై ది స్టోర్స్ యువిడబ్ల్యూ టుగెదర్ రెస్పెక్టివ్లీ. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ పోయిటరీనే తీసుకున్నాం. పోయిటరీ మీనింగ్ దిస్ వన్. వెన్ యాడ్ thousands places it is 11,000, hundreds places 1,000, total 12,060. 12,060. Difference is 60. ఇక్కడ అది ఉండాలి పోయట్రీ అని, లేదా రెస్పెక్టివ్లీ అనే వర్డ్ ఉంది కాబట్టి ఆ మీనింగ్ కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు. There is a word called respectively that comes when we have importance for the order, respectively. So as they are talking about poetry books, now we can conclude it as poetry books also. Right. So now this is over. Now tell me which one? Question number 51. I suggest 51. If you want to go for caselet, that's fine. Which one do you want? Caselet. Okay. Fine. Right, number of bats sold by store A is 40% more than number of broken bats sold by broken bats in store C. Just observe the data. They are talking about store A and then store C. Immediately in the next line we have store C also. We have 3 stores A, B, C. There may be D also, we'll see. But now so far they are talking about sold bats and then broken bats. Let's continue. Number of broken bats in B is 20% less than the number of bats sold by store C. So far, according to the data, I am trying to find out what are they trying to give us. 3 stores ABC. So far, we have information about bats sold and then broken bats. Is there any other extra information or not? Let's find it out. Number of bats sold by B, number of bats unsold. Unsold koda undi. 10%, 30% less than the bats unsold in store A respectively. Number of bats unsold in store C, 37.5% more than broken bats in store A. So they are talking about stores ABC and then sold and then unsold and then broken. Yes, there may be some other extra information, we'll see. Total number of bats available in all stores together is 1920. So they are talking about total also, which is 1920. right? So now, when you read the data, apart from 1920, is there any other direct number we have? Direct number unda? Yes or no? Right. Then we have a ratio. Let's try to start from the ratio because that is clearly mentioned. The respective ratio of the number of broken bats in BC is 6:5. 6 part and then 5 parts. Broken B and C. Now let's start from the beginning. Number of bats sold by store A is 40% more than number of broken bats in store C. 40% of this number, which is 2 parts. 2 parts more, which is 7 parts. They are sold bats in store A. Number of broken bats in B, that is 6 parts, is 20% less than the bats sold by store C. If it is 20% less, that means this value is 80%, right? Come on. So if it is 80%, 100% will be in definitely decimal number. Ana kada? 80% నుంచి 20% రావాలంటే by 4 అయినా చేయాల్సింది. మాట్లాడరు. 80% plus 20% will give us 100%, right? So if 80% is 6 parts, by 4 in the sense 1.5 part. So you are supposed to write sold bats in C as 7.5 parts, which is in decimal. So I don't like to write decimal. So what I want to do is I want to double it and write. So in place of every number so far we have written, let's write twice of it, which is 12 parts, 10 parts, 14 parts, 15 parts. I don't want to write decimal. That is the reason why I multiplied with 2. Is that okay? Fine? Right, continue. The number of bats sold by B and the number of bats unsold by B are 10%, 30% less than the bats unsold in store A respectively. Unsold bats in store A, do we have any number? No. So let me write 100% or 10x. Liner writes, percentage liner writes, number liner writes. It's up to you. 10%, 30% less. If it is 10% less, it becomes x less, which is 9x. 30% less, 3x less, which is 7x. Sold and unsold. Continue. Number of bats unsold in store C is 37.5% more than number of broken bats in store A. Broken bats in store A, that information is not there. I don't want to write one more variable. Let's keep it aside. The number of bats unsold in store A, here they are talking about 25% more than number of broken bats in store A. Broken bats in store A. Unsold. How many unsold are there in store A? Come on. 10x. Which is 25% more than number of broken bats in store A. Then broken bats must be 8x. Then only 10x is 25% more than 8x. Agreed? Now go to the previous statement where we left. Bats unsold in store C is 37.5%. Fractional part 3/8, right? 3/8 more than broken bats in store A. Broken in store A, 8x. 3/8 of that number, 3x. 3x more, 11x. Next. The number of broken bats in store C. Broken in store C, how many parts? 10 parts. Is 100 less than number of bats sold by store C. How many are sold in store C? 15x. And broken are 5x. Difference? 5x, which is 100. 5x is 100. Then x is, 5 parts is 100. Then 1 part? 1 part? Let's write all the values here. 14 20s. 2 80. 12 20s. మాట్లాడాలి. 2 40. 10 20s. 200. 15 20s. 300. This is 300. This is 200. So all p values were replaced now. When you add everything, that must be equal to 1920. Now let's write numbers here. 280, 240, 520, 520, 500, 1020. 1020 plus which number will give you 1920? 900. 1020 plus 900 only will give you 920. Avuna kada? So when you add all x values, that must be equal to 900. Let's add 10x, 8x, 18 plus 9, 27, 34, 45. 45x is equal to 90, 900. Then x is 20. Again multiply all the values with 20. Cheppandi. 200, 160, 180, 140, 180, 140, 220. Done, right? Yes, all the values are there. Now we can start questions. What is the total number of bats were sold by all the stores together? Bats sold by all stores together. Sum of all these numbers only. Matladali. Let's add hundreds places. 600. Tens places 160. Total 760. Number of broken bats in store C was approximately what percent of total number of broken bats in all three stores together? Broken bats in all three stores together, which is 600. In C, how many we have? Broken bats 200. 200 as a percentage with respect to 600, right? Which is fractional form. 1/3. 1/3 percentage. 33. 1/3%. Third option. What is the total number of bats in store A? Is what percent more or less than in store B? In store A, total how many bats are there? Total in the sense we need to add broken, sold and then unsold. Matladandi. Come on. Add hundreds places 500. Tens places 140. Total 640. Next B. Hundreds places 400. Tens places 160. Total 560. 640, is it more than 560 or less than 560? More than 560, less than 560? More. How much more? 80 more. From 560. Percentage into 100. 8 how many times? 1/7 meaning 14/2/7. What is the respective ratio between the number of bats unsold in store A? Unsold in store A. Matladandi. 200 to the number of bats sold in store A. 280. 0, 0 gets cancelled. First number is 5 multiple, so answer must be 5 multiple. First number 5 multiple, second number not a 5 multiple, so it has to be 5 multiple, right? Next. The total number of bats sold in store D, they are talking about store D. Sold in store D is 20% more than number of bats unsold in store A. Unsold in store A, 200. 20% more, 40 more, 240. Number of unsold bats in store D was 30% more than bats sold in store C. Sold in store C, 300. 30%, 90. 90 more, 390. Broken bats in store D is 40% more than broken bats in store C. Broken in store C, 200. 40%, 80. 80 more, 280. Then find the total number of bats available in store D. Sum of all the numbers only. 200, 200, 300, 700, 80, 40, 120, 90, 210 plus 700, 9, 10. Right. So, caselet is also over. Now tell me. Question number onwards. 51. 51. The given below table shows that the mixture of milk and water in 5 different vessels. The given below table shows some values are missing to calculate according to the question if it is necessary to answer the question. Right. If the value of T is 150 less than mixture taken out from the vessel O. So be careful. Are they talking about mixture or milk or water? You need to be careful. Mixture taken out from vessel O. From vessel O. Mixture taken out from it. How much is that? 525. If our T value is 150 less, then T is equal to 375. Find the initial quantity of milk in vessel M. First, let me write the step. Initial milk and then water quantity. How many parts of milk we have? 13 parts. Water, 12 parts. Both together, 25 parts we have, correct? From that, how much quantity is taken out? Even in 375 also, it has to be in the ratio 13:12. So that must be divided into 25 parts. In 100, how many 25s will be there? 4. In 300, 12. Apart from 300, we have 75 more. In 75, 3 more 25s. 12 plus 3, 15. So each part is equal to 15. 12 15s. 180. 13 parts in the sense, 1 part more, which is 195. Got it? 375, which is mixture, which is taken out. Then what happened? Quantity of milk added in the remaining mixture. How much quantity of milk we are adding? 95 ml. And water added to the remaining mixture. How many ml? 80 ml. This is initial mixture and water, milk and water. 375 is taken out. In that 375, 195 milk, 180 water will be there. Then milk and water were added here. This is final component of milk and water. Agreed or not? Matladandi. How much is that quantity? That is equal to 11 by 10. One variable. If you solve it, you will get 1 part value. Yes? Then final question is to identify milk in the initial vessel. Avuna. In the initial vessel, how many parts of milk we have? 13 parts. This is the approach. But now, in your exam, if it is the question, as the question is about initial milk quantity, is how many parts? Should be a multiple of? Just go and verify it. Can it be first option? No. Second? No. Third? No. Fourth? No. Final answer. Direct 13 multiple. If the initial quantity of the mixture of milk and water in the vessel N is 7:8, then find the final quantity of milk in the vessel N. Same approach. But in the final quantity, we were asked to calculate milk. How many parts of milk we have? Should be a multiple of 17, right? Is it a first option? No. Can it be second option? Yes. How many times? 30 times. How many times? 30 times. Can it be third option? Can it be fourth option? Can it be fifth? Second final. Got it? Now if you want to write the approach, initial milk and water are in the ratio 7:8, 7 parts and then 8 parts. From that, 600 quantity is taken out, 600 ml, which is also should be in the ratio 7:8, 15 parts. Each must be 40. That means 280 ml of milk, 320 ml of water is taken out. Then 90 ml of milk and 60 ml of water is added. Finally, the ratio is 17:80. Again, we need to simplify and get the value of 1 part. After getting 1 part value, Your final answer is 7 parts minus 190 will give you answer. Final quantity of milk ante idena మాట్లాడరు. న్యూమరేటర్ లో ఉండేదే కదమ్మా. 7 parts minus 20 plus 90 minus 190. 7 parts minus 190, that's what we need to calculate. Okay, right. Adi approach. The initial quantity of milk in vessel O is approximately what percent of final quantity of mixture in the same vessel? Nothing can be done, we have to solve. ఇక్కడ క్వాంటిటీ అడగలేదు కదా, పర్సెంటేజ్ మోర్ లెస్ అని అడిగారు కదా. దట్ టు వన్ ఇనిషియల్ అండ్ వన్ ఫైనల్. దిస్ ఇస్ రిగార్డింగ్ O. Milk and water 3 parts and then 4 parts. 525 is taken out, which is also should be in the ratio 3:4, 7 parts. 7 sevens 49 and then 5 times. 4 times is easy to calculate, so I'll write it 300. Then remaining 225 must be milk. To this 85 ml of milk, 80 ml of water is added. Final ratio 17/21. Antena? Come on. 3 parts minus, tell me 140. 4 parts minus 220 is equal to 17/21. 3 parts into 21, 63. 4 parts into 17, 68. Difference 5 parts is equal to 21 14 times. 14 21 times. Otherwise 1420 is 280 plus one more time 294, and then we need to write one more 0. Then 17 220 times. 17 20 times 340, 2 times 34, both together 374. 374 and then a 0. Difference 00 and then 8. 5 parts is equal to 800. From this, P is equal to 160. Initial quantity of milk. How many parts? Matladandi. 3 parts. 3 parts in a sense? 480. Is approximately what percent of final quantity of mixture in the same vessel? Final quantity of mixture kada adugutunnadi? Matladandi. Right. Ante sum of these two numbers only, which is equal to 7 parts minus 360 only. 7 160s. 100 into 7, 60 into 7, 11 20 minus 360. 760 percentage into 100. సింపుల్ సబ్ట్రాక్షన్ నేను అడిగింది ఇక్కడ. 1000 minus 300 700, 120 minus 60 60, 760 total. మాట్లాడరు. Right. Now this is what we need to identify. What is 50% of the denominator? Apart from 380 we need to add 100 more, right? What is 10% of the denominator? But here we have more than 76. Right. Can it be approximately 14% or 15%? The answer should be approximately 65%. Go to options. Approximately 65. 63. What is the respective ratio between initial quantity of milk in vessel P to that of final quantity of water in the same vessel if the value of K is 150 less than the mixture of taken out from vessel Q? Now they are talking about P. K value is 150 less than mixture taken out from Q. How much is mixture taken out from Q? 770. 150 less than that number. 620. So now this is the value of K. K value is this much. Fine. In P we have 14 parts and then 17 parts. 620 also should be in the same ratio. Total how many parts are there? 31. Then each part is equal to 20. 280 ml of milk, 340 ml of water taken out. Then 150 ml of milk, 120 ml of water added. Finally ratio 19/21. 14 part minus 130 by 17 part minus 220 is equal to 19/21. After this you will get one part value. Yes or no? After getting one part value, we were asked to calculate ratio between initial quantity of milk, which is 14 parts, final quantity of water, which is 17 parts minus 220. Substitute చేసి answer చెప్పాలి. Get one part value and then substitute in that. Will you do it? Yes? Same like previous question. ఇంతకు ముందు percentage అడిగారు, ఇక్కడ రేషియో అడిగారు, అంతే తేడా. ఓకేనా? What is the average quantity of mixture taken out from vessel M, N, O together, and if the value of T is 225 less than mixture taken out from vessel N. From the vessel N, mixture taken out is 600. 225 less than that number, 375. So T value is equal to 375. We were asked to calculate average for M, N, O. దీన్నే కదా అడిగారు, మాట్లాడరు. Where T value is equal to 375 plus 525, 900 plus 600, 1500 by 3. Answer 500. If the value of Y is 66.2/3%, fractional form, 2/3 of new quantity of water added to the vessel P, find the final quantity of water in vessel Q. Vessel Q, final quantity of water, how many parts? Matladali. Should be 14 multiple, so it has to be 7 multiple. Matladru. Can it be first option? Second, third, fourth, fifth has to be your answer. Process కావాలా? Same process. ఇప్పటి వరకు చేసింది. ఓకేనా? Now this is also over. Shall we go for quant then? Quant to Q and Q2 కదా ఉంది. దేనికి వెళ్దాం? Quant is better. 57 onwards. Continue. Train A and train B crosses a pole in 21 seconds and 18 seconds respectively. If the ratio of length of train A to that of B is 7:6 and the speed of train B is 36 km/h, find the time in which both the trains will cross each other running in opposite direction. If we were asked to calculate time, that is distance by speed. If a train crosses another train, distance covered is train length 1 plus train length 2. The ratio is given, so we need their lengths. Speeds, both are moving in opposite direction, so we need both speeds. B speed is there, we need A speed. So we need to identify their lengths and then speed of train A. Then we can answer the question, right? Now let's see. If a train crosses a pole, distance covered is train length only, 7 parts and then 6 parts. P gets cancelled. You don't have to write it. 7/6. This is distance. First train takes 21 seconds with its own speed, yes, km/h. Second train takes 18 seconds with its speed 36 km/h. This is in km/h, so yes also will be in km/h. Be careful with the measurements. Is that okay? మాట్లాడాలి. ఇవి రెండు దేనిలో ఉన్నాయి? సెకండ్స్. ఇది రెండు రేషియో సేమ్ మెట్రిక్స్ లోనే ఉన్నాయి. సో డోంట్ థింక్ దట్ దీస్ ఆర్ ఇన్ సెకండ్స్ అండ్ స్పీడ్స్ ఆర్ ఇన్ కిలోమీటర్ పర్ అవర్. I am assuming both are in kilometer per hour. To convert into meter per second, in numerator you have to multiply it with 5 by 18. Even in the denominator also you have to multiply with 5 by 18 and both gets cancelled. Even if you write, that gets cancelled, so I am not writing. Ardhamainda? So in the denominator, as the matrix is kilometer per hour for speed, for numerator also I am assuming in kilometer per hour only. 7 3 times, 6 3 times, 3 also gets cancelled. Then speed of train A is also 36 kilometer per hour. Speed of A is there. Now we need their lengths. Avuna? Right. Look at the second train length, which is equal to 6 parts, 18 seconds it is taking time with a speed 36 kilometer per hour. Now we have to convert into kilometer per hour to meter per second. Because this is distance in meters, time in seconds, speed must be in meter per second. Are you following? 18 gets cancelled, 6 times. So from this P is equal to 30. If a train crosses another train, distance covered is equal to train length 1 plus train length 2, which is equal to 13 parts, 13 into 30. And both are moving in opposite direction, relative speed S1 plus S2, 36, 36. 72. Kilometer per hour converted into meter per second, 5 by 18. 18, 4 times. 4 into 5, 20. 0, 0 gets cancelled. Numerator 39 by 2. Answer 19.5 seconds. Followed. The ratio of number of days taken by ABC to complete ఏంటిది? Incomplete ఉంది ఇక్కడ. I think you have papers with you, right? The ratio of number of days taken by ABC to complete the work is 538 respectively. The number of days taken by A alone to complete the work is 6 days more than number of days taken by B alone. So here in terms of number of parts, A is taking how many parts more than B to complete it? 2 parts. And in your question it is mentioned as how many days? 6 days. Then 1 part is equal to, come on. So every number should be multiplied with 3 to get actual number of days to complete the work. Avuna? Right. Next. Then in how many days all together will take to complete the whole work with their 50% of efficiency? First one takes 5 into 3. Next one 3 into 3. Third one 8 into 3. First of all 3 is common, right? Come on. If you want to take LCM, first take 3 common. 5, 3, 8. All are co-primes to each other. LCM is product. Co-primes LCM product hai kada. 5 into 3, 15. 15 into 8, 120. Already 3 taken common. So 3 into 120. 360 is total LCM. 5 3 is 15. 15 how many times? 24 units. 3 3 is 9. 9 how many times is 360? 40. 8 3 is 24. 24 how many times? 15 times. This is their actual efficiency. If all of them are working together, they will work with 79 units of work. But now they are working with half of their efficiency, 79 by 2 comes to numerator. So time taken is going to be 720 by 79, fourth option. Fifth option, final answer. Where A invested some in simple interest at the rate of 5% per annum for 2 years. How much interest we will get? Pillalu matladali. How much interest we will get? B invested some money for the same time which is 2 years, at 3% rate of interest. What type of interest is that? Simple or compound? Not mentioned. If it is not mentioned by default, simple. So how much interest we will get? The sum of money invested by both is 5,000 and the interest after 2 years of both of them is also equal. That means 10% of A is equal to 6% of B. From this, A by B is equal to 6 by 10, simplified form 3 by 5. So A is 3 parts, B is 5 parts, total 8 parts. Find the sum invested by A. So A is getting 3 parts out of 5,000 where it is divided into 8 parts. 8 how many times? Can I write it as 5 into 125? Ardhamainda? 5 into 125 ela? In 1000 how many 8s will be there? 125. 5000 5 into 125. Is that fine? 3 into 5. 15 times of 125. 10 times plus 5 times 1875. Followed? A 240 liters of mixture contains only alcohol and water in the ratio 5:3 respectively. If x liters of mixture is taken out, then the quantity of alcohol in the resultant mixture will be equal to initial quantity of water in the mixture. Find the value of x. Okay. 240 divided into 5:3 ratio, 8 parts. 8 how many times? 30 times. 5 into 30, 150. 3 into 30, 90. This is alcohol and then water in the initial container. X liters quantity is taken out. So that x liter will have both alcohol and water both together. Even in that also it has to be in the ratio 5:3. Then remaining also should be in the ratio 5:3. Avuna? Initial ratio 5:3. Quantity which is taken out also should be in the ratio 5:3. Remaining also should be in the ratio 5:3. Agreed? Now, then the quantity of alcohol in the resulting mixture will be equal to initial quantity of water. Initial quantity of water 90. So in final container, alcohol content is 90. That's what they said. Correct? Matladru. That means quantity which is taken out in alcohol has to be 60 only. Matladru. Alcohol and water both always must be in the ratio 5:3. 5 parts is 60. 3 parts 36. Both together how much is taken out? And that is what the value of x. ABC alone can complete a work in 60, 90, 72 days respectively. All of them started working together. After 9 days from the start, A left the job, and after 15 more days, be careful with the word more, B also left the job. So for how many days did C work? Right. So here also we can definitely go with LCM. 60, 90, 72. 60, 90. LCM 180. Is 72 a multiple of is 180 a multiple of 72? No. Next multiple of 180? 360. Is 360 72 multiple? Yes. How many times? 5 times. So let's take LCM 360. A will do 6 units. B will do 4 units. C will do 5 units. A worked for how many days? That means 9 into 6, 54 units of work is done by A. B worked for how many days? 24 days. Initial 9 days, then after 15 more days. Total 24. In 24 days, B will do 24 into 4. 96. So far, both A and B together does 150 units. Then remaining 210 units must be done by C only, where C alone does 5 units. Time taken by C is 42 days. Okay na? ఇది ఇలా అయినా చేయొచ్చు. In case suppose if you find trouble in calculating LCM, then you can do one more thing. 1 day work of A, 1 day work of B, 1 day work of C. A worked for 9 days, 9 days work of A. B worked for 24 days, 24 by 9 days work done by B. C is working for X number of days, let's assume. All together worked and completed the work, which is equal to 1. Simplify it, you will get X value direct. This is another way. Okay. Q1, Q2, the advantage is Q2, instead of giving a question, they have given you a number. So that's the advantage. So it is finally solving one question only. Sometimes in place of Q2, 340, they'll give one more question. So it is like rework. You'll have to solve Q1, then again Q2. So Q1, Q2's lo eppudaithe, when you have a number like this, pick those questions and do it. If you have Q2, then think about it. Q1, Q2's cheyala lekapothe inga migili emaina cheyala, then you get the conclusion. A shirt is marked up by 40% and then some discount is offered on it such that there is a profit of 30%. Wait a minute. Market price is 140%. 30% profit is there. Then selling price must be 130. Then discount offered is 10. I am not saying 10% of the market price, but direct 10 only I am giving. Is that okay? Right. Next, continue. If the market price had been 65 rupees more, then the discount that had to be given will be the thrice. Then find the cost price of the shirt. Cost price is always 100%. Am I right? Okay. ఇప్పుడు అండర్లైన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఉంది చూడండి, ఇది సెకండ్ కేస్. Finally, in both cases, selling price must be equal to 130% only. Because they are not talking about the selling price, they are talking about only discount and then market price. If the market price is 65 rupees more, discount would be thrice of it, and we were asked to calculate cost price. So that means in both cases, selling price must be 130 only. Whatever the increase in market price we have, the same must be subtracted in discount, then only you will get same selling price. అవునా? ఇప్పుడు మీకు మీ బ్రదర్ కి సాలరీస్ డిఫరెన్స్, సేవింగ్స్ డిఫరెన్స్ 10,000 ఉంది. సేవింగ్స్ డిఫరెన్స్ 10,000 ఉంది. సాలరీ 5,000 పెరిగింది. సేవింగ్స్ మాత్రం సేమే ఉండాలి, మరి ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఏమవ్వాలి? వారు మీ పాడే మీ దింపల్ దగ్గ, ఇక్కడేమో ఇన్కమ్, ఇక్కడేమో ఎక్స్పెండిచరు, ఇక్కడేమో సేవింగ్స్. సేవింగ్స్ బోత్ కేసెస్ 10,000 ఉండాలి. ఇది ఇనీషియల్, ఇది లేటర్ కేస్. సేవింగ్స్ 10,000 ఉండాలి. ఇన్కమ్ సపోజ్ 5,000 ఎక్స్ట్రా పెరిగితే, ఇనీషియల్ ఇన్కమ్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టెలింగ్ యూ, బట్ ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ టెలింగ్ యూ ఇన్కమ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ బై 5,000. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గివింగ్ యూ ఇనీషియల్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఆల్సో. What should happen to initial expenditure so that you will have same savings? That also should increase by 5,000. Am I right? Apply the same logic here. Your selling price must be same in both cases. When you are increasing your market price, your discount also should increase and both must be same. Then only selling price will be same. Avuna? Market price increased by how much? Amma? 65 increase, correct? Discount increased by, come on matladal, I want everybody to answer. Discount increased by, no, discount increased by, discount increased by, correct? Evarnana cheppindi? That's right answer I want. Varu mee dumpallega cheppindi correct akkada evaro. Increased by, initial discount, how much was that? 10%. All the values are with respect to cost price only. Now their discount was 10%. They said discount had to be given will be thrice. That means discount becomes 3 times. Earlier it was 10%. Now it should be 30%. Increased by 20%. Increased by 20%. So that 20% should be equal to 65. Then 10% value is equal to 32.5. 100% is 325. And this is our cost price. Increase in market price must be equal to increase in discount. This is the one basic point that you need to know. Nothing is here. Q2 is 340. Q1 less than Q2. Followed. ఇక్కడ కాన్ఫ్లిక్టింగ్ గా ఉండేది ఏంటి అని అంటే ఇదిగో ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఒక్కటే. డిస్కౌంట్ బికమ్స్ 3 times of it. Earlier it was 10%, now it becomes 30%, so increased by 20%. Is it clear? A vessel contains 112 liters of mixture of milk and water in the ratio 5:3. 24 liters of mixture is taken out. Out of 112. When 24 liters is taken out, what is remaining? 88. Even 88 also should be in the ratio 5:3. That means 55:33. 7 liters of water is added. 7 liters of water added. Find what percentage of water is in the final mixture. How much is water? How much is milk? How much is total? So water is 40 with respect to 95% into 100. Q2 is 42. So it is just a comparison. We need to know whether it is equal to 42% or more than that or less than that. Avana. Let's go to denominator. What is 10%? Double. So that means 40% value is equal to 38. But our numerator is 40. That means you need to add 2 more. Correct? What is 1% of the denominator? 0.95. 2%. 1.90. But we need to add more than that, right? So that means this value is more than 2% or less than 2%. So Q1 is more than 42. Q2 is exactly 42. Q1 more than Q2. The lengths of train A and B are equal. The speed of train A is 125 km per hour, B is 71 km per hour. Train A crosses train B in 20 seconds and is traveling in the same direction, and find the sum of their lengths. If a train crosses another train, distance covered is అక్కడ చూసి చెప్పండి మీ పాడు మీరు. Sum of their lengths కదా. So if you can calculate what is the distance covered in this case, you are done with the answer. Correct? Right. How much time is it taking? In which direction they are moving? Relative speed S1 125/71. 54 difference కూడా రావట్లా మీ పాడు మీరు అసలు. 54 km per hour convert into meter per second. 5/18. 18 3 times. 3 into 5 15. 15 into 2 30 and then is 0. 300. Q2 240. Q1 more than Q2. The respective ratio between cost price of article A and B is 2:3. If the market price of article A and B is 25%, 20% above the cost price. Wait a minute. 25% fractional form 1/4. What is denominator? So A must be 4 multiple. A cost price. Here we have 2, but we are expecting 4 multiple. So you'll have to multiply it with 2. Avuna? Keep it aside. And B's market price is 20%. Fractional form. Denominator. So B value cost price must be 5 multiple, but it is given as So we'll have to multiply it with 5. With respect to A, we have to multiply it with 2. With respect to B, 5. Both together, 10. So cost price, 20, 30. Okay, na? Market price, 25% of this number. 1/4, 5. 5 more, 25. అర్థమవుతుందా? యాడ్ చేస్తున్నారా? B is 20%. What is 20% of this number? 6 parts more. Alright, okay. If the difference between the market price of both the articles is 220, difference in terms of parts, 11 parts is 220, 1 part is equal to divided by 11, which is 20. Find the cost price of A, 20 parts. 11 20 times. 20 20s, 400. Q1 400, Q2 500. Q1 less than Q2. Done? Right.